Hello and welcome to Sito's Kitchen. Today we're making Kiblbe B Sannieyeh. B Sannieyeh in Arabic, it means in the baking pan. You know, about a year ago I got a bright idea. I was making a pie and that turned into a Kiblbe tip. Let me tell you, first of all, the traditional way of making this is women would take a portion of Kiblbe and pat it in their hand and then put it one by one in the pan as they filled the pan, and they would meld it together with each patty. And groups of women would get together and chat, and each would make a patty, and they could make tons of it. Well, when I was making this pie and I'm rolling the crust, I'm thinking, why don't I do this for Kiblbe? It would be a lot faster. So that's my tip. Let me show you. I take my meat and put it like so in between two pieces of wax paper. Now bear in mind, I'm using a mini roller, and let me take this away from the camera so you can see it. I roll it out, and as I'm going, I am figuring about the size of the pan. And if you want, you can just pick it up like so and plop it in and see how far you have to go. Okay, so we are making a nice layer like this, and we can patch when we're done if we want, if it's needed more on the side, but that's pretty quick. And let me do another layer for you so you can see it. And by the way, this is good practice for making pie crust. The meat is so much more forgiving than the crust, as you know, if you've tried it. I remember as a young married woman, that was like a big challenge for me. And nowadays, it's a piece of cake or a piece of pie. And there we have it. Okay, so I'm gonna put the bottom layer in. Let me show you how. Let me put it in the front here so you can see it. And if the meat is chilled, it's so much better. You just plop that puppy in there, pull out your paper, and any last minute adjustments are so much quicker than making those silly patties. I shouldn't say silly. Our grandmothers were wonderful. They made beautiful food, which we loved, okay? But today we're rushed. We have so much more on our plate, and it just makes sense to try and come up with shortcuts. So there you have it, the bottom layer, okay? I'm going to take my meat filling, and in the recipe, as you'll see in the cookbook, this is marvelous. It's ground lamb, spices, onions, and pine nuts or walnuts chopped. And Sito would vary between both. But the secret to Sito's filling is the dibba. It was her tamarind syrup that she cooked for hours on the top of the stove. By the way, the recipe is in the cookbook. And it just makes a difference. It's a moister, more delectable filling. Okay, there's my filling. And I'm gonna take my second layer. As you can see, I have it here. Putting it on top. And I'm doing a little patchwork. Don't worry. There is no perfection in a Syrian kitchen. We just roll along here, okay? And even Sitos that are experienced sometimes do a little patchwork. So there you have it. The top layer is on. It took me so much less time. Now, as you know, in the cookbook, you make diagonal cuts through the meat in the layers, and this way, and then crosswise, and then pats of butter on top. Only use clarified butter because Any other kind of butter or margarine will burn. And there you have it. Kibbe B Sannieyeh. Sahtin. I hope you enjoy it. And salamat alaikum.